Hey everyone, how are y'all doing on today? And this is Dinner and Dialogue Brunch Special Edition. Okay, so as most of you know, or maybe you don't know, November the 4th was Dinner and Dialogue first anniversary. But Miranda and we didn't get a chance to do anything special for that day. So today we're doing an exclusive, but not quite an exclusive. We're going to continue to try to do these as often as possible. But today I have these phenomenal ladies with me and Miranda on today, and we're going to do a dinner and dialogue brunch. As you can see, we are all eating brunch, and it was catered by Grace Tucker, the owner and CEO of Gracious Creation, in which Grace just opened her very own boutique in Delhi. So y'all go check her out. She's on Cliff Blukin, and she's open today from I think 2 to 4 or 2 to 6. But I'll get more details and let you know that later. But anyway, my name is LaRonda Glass, and I am the host of Dinner and Dialogue. And I am a licensed social worker and a certified life coach. And y'all know Dinner and Dialogue is just basically a podcast where we talk about different elements of relationship. I got my phenomenal co-host with me, Miranda Starks, and I'm going to let each lady introduce themselves and let y'all know who they are and what they do. I also am asking that if you are on the live and you see it, like and share, because today, if we get the likes and the shares, I'm gonna put names in a hat and I'm gonna draw names and I'm gonna give a $50 gift certificate to Thick Chica. So y'all, yes. So, yeah. So I'm going to start with my left. Wait, I'm going to start with Miranda, and she's going to introduce herself, my co-host, and then we're going to go around the table, and each lady can introduce themselves.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Miranda Starks, the co-host of Dinner and Dialogue. I'm also the CEO of Thick Chica, LLC, the owner and CEO of Miranda Sweet and Chic Boutique. And I also have another business I'm not ready to announce just yet. But I am a serial entrepreneur. And at the moment, I am also helping the community by providing free cell phones. Okay, so that's another thing for people who's on assistance. But but I'm just glad to be here. And that's me.
Okay, right. Hello, keeping it short and simple. I'm Aretha Wade. I'm a licensed realtor with Anchor Realty. So if you're looking to buy or sell, please give me a call.
Okay.
Yes.
My name is Brittany Vincent, and I have been a teacher for 8 years, and that's just me. I'm Brittany.
All right.
Hi, I am Stephanie Wells. And that you'll see there's another Stephanie. So Stephanie Wells. I am a licensed teacher. I've been licensed since 2011. I am also a business owner, You Matter Tutoring and Consulting, LLC. Also an author of a children's book, Wills and Me. I wrote this book to help me process my stepdad passing and to show children that even though you have a disability, you're still able to do other things. So it was awesome writing that book. And I'm transitioning into being a full-time consultant, so educational consultant. So that's all of who I am.
Hey guys, I am Stephanie Monique from Tupelo, Mississippi, educator, entrepreneur, and mentor. I teach Life Christian. I am an instructor at Life Christian University. I've been teaching in a Bible college setting for 4 years. Entrepreneur, I have a few things in the works and in the mix, and mentoring is a passion of mine. So that's me.
Okay, well now y'all have the introductions of all the wonderful ladies that's here today. I had the privilege and honor of meeting these ladies to celebrate my birthday with me last month. And we had such a phenomenal time. Oh my goodness, we had such a great time. And so
Yes, we did.
Brittany didn't join us for my birthday, but I still enjoyed her the night before my birthday. But she's still a part of the group. She's the baby of the group. So but we're going to continue to flourish and have great meaningful lives and continue to follow in purpose. Well, today, for Dinner and Dialogue exclusive Dinner and Dialogue podcast brunch, we're going to talk about the benefits of waiting, embracing your waiting season as singles. I am single and never been married. Miranda is single and never been married. And Stephanie is single and never been married. Stephanie Wells. Stephanie Renee.
Yeah, Stephanie Renee.
Is single and never been married. Monique has had the honor of being married but no longer married. Aretha is widowed and Brittany is divorced. But that's neither here nor there. But we're all in a season of some form of waiting to get to the place where we want to be in marriage. And so today we're going to talk about, our waiting season and what we have done in our waiting season to prepare for what we are praying and asking for. Because we understand and know that you cannot ask for something and be prepared for it. So when you praying and you're asking God to give you this man for you, not necessarily your Boaz, but the man that's purpose for you, you have to be prepared for that platform. And so today we're going to give our journey and our testimonies about what we have done and what we are doing to prepare for that type of relationship that we're seeking. So the first question that I have for the lady today is, what does your waiting season look like? And we will start with Stephanie Renee.
All right, Stephanie Renee. I need a name. Why she do you like that? Okay, so when you say, what does my waiting season look like? You mean like just with my singleness?
With your testimony, your season.
Okay, so my singleness is, my independence is exponentially high. Number one, I'm an only child and I have no children. I've never been married. So I'm not used to even sharing chores as a kid. Like I'm used to, if I don't clean it, my mama automatically knew when she walked in the house, Steph, you didn't do this, and Steph, you didn't do that. So I'm not used to consistently sharing in day-to-day activities, day-to-day life activities, even sharing a bed. Like I don't, like what is that? So so that's like I never lived with a man. A man has never like lived with me. So I don't know what that experience is like. And so where I am in this space of my waiting, when I have moments like this where I'm hanging out, with a group of girls, or if I have company come to my house, like my friends come by and just want to come to my house and spend the night, I'm learning like what that consistently looks like just to have somebody in your space. I'm a person in my waiting season. I learned how to just enjoy me. I will go out to eat by myself. I'll go to concerts by myself. I'll go to restaurants. Like I have been more blessed hanging out by myself. I went from, I'll never forget one of my birthdays, and then I'm gonna close out. I went to Zany's. I was living in Tennessee at the time, and Shulermain, not Shulermain, I'm sorry. He's a comedian. I want to say Shulermain, a comedian. He was doing a show in Nashville, and I went from just having a regular ticket, sitting out with everybody else to, oh, you by yourself? It's your birthday? Come on, we're going to move you up to VIP. Just because I was by myself. So I had a front row seat, and every comedian gave me a shout out because it was my birthday, and I felt real special. So even though I was out by myself, like, it was still cool. It was really dope. And they sat me at a table of strangers that I didn't know, and there was a man sitting at the table who was, single or whatever. And it wasn't even about like, okay, let me get your number. You get my number. You single, I'm single. We ought to date. No, we just sat there and enjoyed great conversation. So I learned in my singleness to enjoy myself and have a good time by myself. And I'm learning how to invite people into that good time. Because I get up and go by myself and won't think twice about it. But I'm learning how to invite people into that space and enjoy having people in that space so that I can transition to marriage and being a mom and having children and all that. So y'all pray my strength in the Lord. Ooh, I've been by myself a long time. I'm 33, so we'll see what happens.
That's good.
That's good.
So, Steph, like,
Wait a minute. Ask everybody.
I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
at what point did something just click inside of you and let you know, okay, you have to change these behaviors and start allowing people in?
That's a great question. It clicked for me when I would go and do stuff and I would tell people stories of, like, in this moment now, like, oh man, you did that. Why didn't you call? ask me to go with you. So I kept having moments where people were like, I would have liked to have enjoyed that too. And my excuse used to be, well, it was last minute. I didn't think you would go because I didn't want to deal with the disappointment of no. Because remember, I'm an only child.
Yes.
So no to me is like, if I can avoid no, I'm going to avoid it at all costs. I know I'm going to say yes to me. If I want to go to this concert, oh, it's a yes, I'm going. But when you start trying to invite people and you expecting them to go, and especially when it comes to money and covering costs, you know, she was supposed to help you with gas, or he was supposed to cover the cost of the room, and then they back out the last minute. It's like, forget it. I can make sure I can ask the track and make sure I have my money together. So when I started realizing that people were not necessarily offended, but just like, dang, you didn't think of me to like invite me, I would have enjoyed having that good time with you. That's what helped me to switch. Because like now when I started dating, men don't typically like always know where they want to go and what they want to do. No. And so I don't mind planning a date or whatever because I know what I like to do. And now I've learned how to just invite people into those spaces, and whether it turns into a relationship or not, okay, I had a good time. So I keep chasing the good time because I had issues with anxiety and depression. And so that inviting people into those spaces to hang out with me and to help lift my spirit so that it wasn't always on me, because that's what anxiety and depression was doing to me. It was isolating me. And so I had to learn how to get out of that and just hang out by myself and enjoy having a good time with myself, and then learning how to let people into that. And so when I do have low moments, I can call somebody and they can listen to me and help me reason so that I don't end up going into a deep hole. So it's been scary. It's been exciting. And even when I get disappointed with no, it's like, well, I guess I'm going by myself. So I tried. So that's how I've chosen to look at it now.
Okay, that's good. Okay, Brittany, what are your ways?
Great. It's great. So I have been married before, and I was married for 4 years. And me being me, I was not the type. I guess I was afraid of being alone. So I jumped from marriage to another relationship just like that. Broken, damaged. I mean, I was not used to being by myself. So I went through this relationship for 5 years. I did. Oh, was it toxic? Yes. It was toxic. I was letting my kids see things that they shouldn't have seen. And it was hurting them, damaging them also. So now I'm at a point where, okay, Brittany, you got to live the single life. You got to learn how to be on your own for a little while. So I am on my own for a little while and enjoying my kids. Now, I ain't got to the point where I'm able to just go out by myself yet. Now, I have. And I'm like, ooh.
When you get there, you're going to be like, girl.
So I did that before, and I was like, oh, Lord, they looking at me because I'm by myself. You're not supposed to be by yourself. You need to have somebody. No, I have to realize that, hey, just go have fun. Yes. So I'm just enjoying myself. And my kids are, I guess, actually seeing me happy because I'm by myself. We do a lot more things together. And I was like, hey, let's go. Let's go. Yeah. We just jump in the car and we go. So I am experiencing, I guess, the me time phase that I never got to experience.
That's good. That's good.
So I'm doing that right now. That's where I am right now.
Okay, Aretha.
So as you mentioned earlier, I am widowed. My husband and I dated. We were high school sweethearts. We took a break and we reconnected and married. We were married for almost 9 years before he passed. And we had 3 children together. So before then, so what my singleness looks like now, I'm in a waiting period. I base my the next chapter of my life pretty much based on the past. So my dad, he and my mom were married still are married for over 40 years. Wow. So I have that great example of what a marriage should look like. And my husband pretty much was like my second dad. And he's not my dad, but he had all the same qualities as a good man, just my dad. So we had a great relationship that ended way too soon. So for me now, I look for all those qualities that my dad showed my mom and that my husband showed me. So the next guy, he's got a tall order to fill. They say not to compare, but I do. It's just being honest. If you don't have it. I know what I'm used to. I know how I was treated. I know how I want to be loved.
Yes.
I know how I want to be respected. And I also have children to think about. So
Exactly.
I don't want to waste my time dating a person that I can't see a potential future with. So am I waiting now? I'm getting to know me pretty much because I did devote my life to my children after my husband passed. And before he passed, my life was devoted to him. So now I'm learning what makes Aretha tick, what makes her happy. I did some of these things. And like you said, you were spoiled. My dad spoiled my mom. My husband spoiled me. I'm spoiled. My kids are spoiled. So it's and it's not a bad thing. No, I know we're not the brat spoiled. So I understand what we're spoiled within reason. So I'm trying to live my life in a way that is pleasing to God and that my children will understand the process and be proud of their mom and, set a better example. So
That's good.
hopefully I won't have to wait much longer, but if it's longer, it's okay.
Yeah, girl days.
Oh, good. Yes.
Come on, girl day.
Girl day.
Yeah. And I do appreciate these ladies because there are plenty of times I've called Miranda so late at night just talking, and she's always had a listening ear. And like she said, you jump from relationship because you're used to being married, and I was used to having that companionship. So after he passed away, there was a period of loneliness. So, and I remember another elderly couple in our community who passed away, and his wife passed away, and he remarried quickly. And I put my foot in my mouth because I was like, his wife just passed, and he's already in another relationship. And it's not that he didn't love his wife any less. He was used to having that companionship. So now I'm in the same situation. I'm like, wait, I'm used to having somebody to talk to every day, wake up to, go to bed with, and all of that is gone. So I did jump in a relationship prematurely, and I wasn't ready for one and made a mess of things. So now I'm having to push pause and take care of me. So
Okay,
that's it.
Okay. What about you, Stephanie Monique?
Listen, I just want to say that all of y'all stories are awesome and phenomenal. My season of waiting, what does that look like? Ooh, child. Well, I've been divorced for 11 years. I was married for 5, and I married my high school sweetheart. And I have not been in a relationship since I got divorced. Now, I have dated, but I hadn't brought anybody into that space because I was broken, I was confused, I was hurt, and I had to take time to learn me again. When you are married and you go through a divorce, it's like going through a death, but the person is still living. Like they're still walking, they're still breathing. You might see them out. And so there are times that I had flashbacks, okay? Glory to God for the Holy Spirit. Be careful. So now, So now my season of waiting is learning to be exactly what I heard everybody else say. And to me, I kept hearing the word content. I'm learning, and I have learned to be content with me. Sometimes when you're single, as women, we feel like we're not good enough. Or we see somebody, and I'm going to keep it 100. Can I keep it 100?
Keep it 100.
Come on, it's open and transparent. You'll see somebody with somebody, he'll be like, nah, I know. She got a man.
I know
Yeah, you do.
Right?
Be like, all of this by myself.
But you have to remember.
Yes.
You have to remember that, like, a lot of times we're going through places, and if we're honest with ourselves, I was honest with myself. I kept myself in some places longer than what I should have been because of my mindset and because of my erratic emotions. So my season of waiting, what does it look like? It looks like being healed, healthy. It looks like having my emotions in check. It looks like not depending on someone to be that for me, like to make me happy. I make me happy. God makes me happy. And a man can't be in that place.
Right.
Listen, can I being together financially, honey? What are you bringing to the table?
Yes.
Say that.
Come on.
Is you in that?
I'll drink to that.
Can you pay for some stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Like, what's your credit score? Like,
Yes.
we say we want a man, but a man is like, waiting looks like. It looks like being prepared. It looks like getting it together. It looks like, you know, being able to stand and being able to be productive, not only financially, but, you know, physically. You know, what is your health like? Mentally, you know, how do you think? How do you process? You know, are you going to bring baggage from your other relationship into this relationship? I had a conversation with one of my brothers, one of my friends, and he said, you know, let it be a blank slate. You know what I mean? So when you meet somebody, automatically, you know, you're not like, oh, red flag, because so-and-so did that, and when they did that, this is what happened. That's not being healed, and that's being toxic. So it looks like just allowing yourself to be complete, healed, and emotionally healthy. If we're honest, sometimes we don't think properly. You know, our mindset and our thoughts, like. So that's what my waiting season looks like, honey. Get some money together. So.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so and being content.
Okay, my co-host.
I mean, everybody pretty much was saying everything. But I will say this. Now, my waiting season, I don't know. I've had a very interesting time. It's just like it's been a kind of like an emotional roller coaster. But during this time, I have found out a lot about myself. It's just like Aretha was saying earlier, learning yourself. You know, Stephanie was saying, learning to be content. The Stephanies, and then even then with us, yeah, and then even with, you know, Brittany was saying she had to learn, you know, from being in toxic situations, because I mean, you have to look at yourself. So this waiting season for me has been a lot of introspection, but it's also been very busy. So I know for me, I have actually stepped out on faith on a lot of things. And so during this time, I'm not necessarily a lonely person, but one thing I'm noticing about myself is just the different things that I want to do, the different things that God has put on my heart. I'm trying to take advantage of this single season to get the foundations and everything built up, so I can have that laid. So when, you know, Mr. comes on, you know, it's like Stephanie was saying also, I'm going to have plenty to bring to the table. Yes. I'm going to have a lot of things already established. I'm already have money in the bank, because it's not going to be about what can you do for me. It's what can we do together.
Ooh,
so I want to be, that's been my focus, being the best woman that I can be, being the best mother that I can be. So that when he comes along, it's just going to be, we're just going to gel right together. I had a friend of mine, I remember him talking about when him and his wife got married. He said it wasn't really difficult. He said, of course, you know, you're learning how to live with another person and things like that, but because they both was operating in their purposes, they came together and it gelled well. Of course, you got to learn to compromise and things like that, but it's so important to know who you are. So my thing is, in this season, Miranda is being who the Lord has called her to be, which is an entrepreneur, but also, you know, I'm a single mother. So also being the best mother that I can be, and knowing that I have to be happy, healthy, and whole so my child can be. I have to be happy, healthy, and whole so that I'll attract a happy, healthy, and whole man.
Yes.
So I'm learning to be what I want to attract.
Can I say something? I'm sorry. I just want to say, a man does not define you if you are single. Like, you don't need a man to validate you. I think sometimes we get caught up, and even for me when I was younger, a lot of young girls have the misconception that they need a man to feel fulfilled. And that's simply not the case. You need to know who you are before he comes along, because he doesn't define you. He compliments. Like, we're supposed to compliment one another and synergize. That's a great word. Like, you should already have your things going, and then my circle synergizes with your circle.
Yep.
Yes. I just want to add that. I'm sorry.
Yes. Purpose partner.
Yes.
Come on, that's
Purpose
good.
partner.
Purpose partner.
Well, for me, I guess I have to answer the question too.
Yes, ma'am.
We have a follow-up. So come on.
So for me, my waiting season has been phenomenal in so many ways, yet challenging. I remember about 2 years ago, after Jerron left to go to college, I realized that the empty nest syndrome was real, because My son's father died when he was 3. And at this, my son is 21, so what's that, 18 years? I've been single. After the death of Jeremy, I think it had just been so much trauma on me from people leaving that I blocked and shut everybody off.
Wow.
Because in my mind, because I was after Jeremy, it was like no one who I encountered chose me, and so I felt like something was wrong with me. And so I just began to accept that I'm just meant to build a man up, and then they leave me and go to the next one. I just feel like that was just my calling. Until I realized that was not my calling, and that maybe I wasn't chosen, is because I wasn't prepared for what I was asking for. And I kept choosing them and not choosing myself. And I remember driving down the road one day, and I heard it so clear, it's time to choose you.
Oh, wow.
And so, and so I didn't know what that was. But shortly after Jerron left and went to college, I began to go through those trials of figuring out who I was and choosing myself. And I realized that sitting in my living room one day in Starkville, that even though I thought I was past my son's father's death, I was not past that death, and I was in my living room grieving like it had just happened all over again. And that day, I said, it's time to let go. And I accepted that death, and it's been a journey ever since. So for the last couple years, I have learned so much about myself, the things that I didn't think that I would like, the things that I didn't even consider. Because I had told myself for years I didn't like traveling. That's a lie. I love traveling. I love taking trips. I mean, I can have girlfriends because I'm the type of person, if you offended me, I wouldn't even tell you offended me. I would just cut you off. I could cut you off with a drop, like, gone. And so I think it.
She tried.
I try. No, and so Stephanie Renee.
She tried, but
She has stuck even through my even through my bitterness in those days. You know, she still kept coming around. I appreciate that. But what I realized is that I have fallen in love with LaRonda.
Yes.
And I know that people say that, but sometimes you say it as a cliche. But like, I'm really loving this girl that I'm becoming. And I remember, you know, we pray for platforms, we pray for success, we pray for all these things. But what I'm learning is you have to be prepared for the platform you pray for. And so if you can't be these things for your husband, then, I mean, first for yourself, then you can't display this to your husband, because you have to be able to relate in your relationships. And so if you don't have nothing, I understand that you can cook and you can clean and you can do all these things. But if it's a man, those things are really not what he's looking for, especially if he can cook and clean himself. So what else? And it ain't about sexual pleasures or nothing like that, because they can pay for that.
Yeah.
So what can you?
They got to pay.
Right. And so
It stops.
And so it just got to the point of, what can I add? Because I was not an effective communicator. I was shut down. And so I had to learn, Rhonda, how would your husband know what you want if you don't even know what you want? If you don't even know how to speak it, if you don't even know how to do it, why would you expect someone to read your mind when you don't even know how to verbally express what it is that you want? So now I'm just like, in my waiting season, I'm just learning to be able to relate. I'm learning the lessons that I need to give myself. And I'm learning that I am grateful for the ones that did choose me, because it forced me to define myself. It forced me to reveal who Rhonda is. And I am so content with learning that, because Stephanie Renee made a comment a few weeks ago. She said, it's time for us to live like a black bachelorette.
Yes.
And and that thing hit me. Because sometimes we give so much of ourselves to other people that we don't focus on us and what we need. You understand we're mothers, you understand we're sisters, yes, I understand we're daughters, and I understand we have obligations. But our first obligation is to ourselves because we're not robots. And we have to enjoy life as well. And so I'm excited just to be able to do some things. I want to apply for my passport, and I'm just in the middle. My husband will find me doing what I love, and he's going to appreciate that about me because he's going to add to it. Now, I understand that we all want money in the bank, but the Bible said he gives us fingers we didn't play.
That's it.
I want my own, and I know how to get my own.
We can get that too.
But I'm gonna get that too.
You receive that. Yes.
So
I have a follow-up question.
Yes.
okay, and then I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let Steph add to that. I was riding the other day, and I'm just sitting there thinking. So I travel for work, and I'm sitting there driving, and I realized that it's all about obedience. And I know that there are so many people. I want to be a millionaire. I want this and I want that, and they work their bodies down like a dog. But is that truly what God created you to do? Because He said His yoke is easy. So I'm realizing that it's not about the sacrifice. And the word says this: obedience is better than sacrifice.
Yes.
So you're sacrificing time with your children. You're sacrificing time with your family. You're sacrificing time for yourself. But is that truly what God has called you to do? And I've learned that I've been more blessed this season of my waiting and just being obedient. I have not lacked nothing, and I shall lack no good thing.
Fabulous.
I am going to walk in obedience and do as I'm told to do and as I'm directed. And in that, everything else just gonna fall. Okay, so
Awesome. I love everything that everybody's already said and spoken. This has been awesome dialogue. So Rhonda, you mentioned about preparation. This reminded me of something my mom said to me last week. So in speaking about scriptures, it says, speak those things that be not as though they were. And we speak a lot of things. And my mom, she came through with that 60 plus wisdom like only she can. And she was like, we speak things that we don't want to do the work to get.
You got to do the work.
So come on now, you said something right
I'm gonna
there.
let that linger a little bit. We speak things that we don't want to do the work to get. I don't want to be up here boasting and bragging. Oh, come on, Bishop so and so, baby. It's some things, some qualifications that come with being a bishop.
That's right.
But hey, Doctor so and so, it's some qualifications that come with being a doctor. What school did you go to? So it's some things you have to do in order to prepare to get that. It's a process. So in thinking about waiting, and you talked about preparation, and I feel like they're extremely interconnected. How did your preparation help you in your waiting? Because I'm sure that the preparation, some parts of your preparation were like super easy, and then there were other parts of your preparation that you like kind of struggled with. How did you continue to progress and persevere when you hit those walls? Like you said, oh my God, empty nest syndrome is real. This is real to me. This is real to me. How did you continue to push and progress through those processes? Because you had to prepare for those things that you've been speaking. So how did you continue to persevere?
Focus.
Come on.
I know my purpose, and I knew
That's
that
the battle.
right.
The battle.
You don't want to prepare for the wrong
That's
thing.
good. You're gonna fail.
Keep going.
I continue to focus. Even through the pain, our YouTube videos, you teaching me to do the I ams, reading books, just continuously making sure that I'm in a mindset to know what my vision was mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Because we always want to focus on the spiritual.
Come on.
But the spiritual happens and it's not seen most of the time.
Come on.
So you have to, even though people talk about I'm manifesting, but there's work that has to be done in order for these things to manifest.
Right.
I knew where I wanted to be because I knew the purpose. For instance, one of those, my business that I had in Pontotoc, I closed it. because I felt like, people weren't coming or whatever. So I couldn't allow that to stop me. So what I do, I came home, I built my business in my kitchen where we at right now. I put stuff on my wall, so I kept progressing by focusing on the purpose.
Right.
And that's what you have to do. You can't focus on what failure you encounter. You can't focus on the pain you're encountering. You can't focus on the loss you're encountering. And what I learned is it's never about the losses, but the lessons that you learn through the losses to apply to your life. Because it's not about the destination, but the journey along the way. And so when you get to the destination, the journey of the pain and the losses is not even going to be really relevant, because you're going to give grace. You're going to be given grace. And then when you get to that destination, all those things that you look back to, you're like, dang, if it hadn't been for this, I wouldn't have got here. If it hadn't been for this, I wouldn't have got here. So it just builds your character, and it helps you be the person that you was truly created to be. So I just say focus on the purpose. Once you know your purpose, this should be your mindset. No matter who comes in or who goes out, friends leave, friends go, because you're going to have friends that don't click to your vision. Yes. So that means that person's part of your life is over. Yeah. You can't grieve that.
Right.
Not too long. You got to take what So you take what you could have got from that person, and what you don't want, you throw it away, and what you want, you keep it, and you keep going. Yeah. And so that's where I am. Nothing is going to deter me from getting to that place.
Okay. That's good. I want to make a plug. She's also written a book. What's the name of the book?
Oh, I wrote a journal called The Journey Along the Way.
Oh, The Journey Along the Way. So we all get to do our work. Yes. You can do your work in the workbook.
Becoming authentically me. And that's where I am. Like, no story in my life am I afraid to share. Like, I am transparent. I don't have an issue with sharing that part for me. Yeah. And so people might like, well, she this and she that. You don't know me in this season. Now, when I was 20, hey.
Disclaimer. Yesterday. We're not fooling with Stephanie, but disclaimer, okay? No, come on.
But hey, I'm 44. I'm not that girl 20 years ago. I'm not that girl even 6 months ago. I'm not even that girl a month ago.
Exactly.
Right. Because I'm continuously growing and becoming, and there's something that never stops. Even with the fact of building confidence in who I am, people enter our lives to give us certain lessons. Some stay, some don't, and it's okay.
Right. And it's also important to know what season you're in. Like you said, people come in for a certain period of time. You need to know when to let them go.
Your lesson
that you all for naught. You need to know when to let go. What is it? Know when to hold. Know when to walk away.
And then you go for a walk.
But I just want to add too, it's just like, you were talking about the different things that come, and I had put a post up just this week on my Facebook page where it was saying like rejection is simply redirection. So it's just like, I was sitting there thinking about just the different, what I thought were losses, and different, people just not necessarily accepting you or even feeding into your vision, but just being a business person and a salesperson, the more no's you get, the better, because you're getting closer and closer to that yes. So it's the same way with that. And then I just think about, just the rejection is just simply like following a GPS. You know how to tell you when you're going, you done passed your spot, or you done stopped somewhere and it's the wrong place, recalculating. So you know what I'm saying? It's simply the same thing. But as long as you keep going, like LaRonda was saying, keep your focus, keep going, you will reach your destination. But it's just like accepting those no's along the way. Be like, okay, but that's fine, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep on going till I get to where I'm supposed to get to. Yes. So, yeah, I agree with that.
I think it's important. You said something so powerful, and it was like pivotal. You said, I know my purpose. There are so many people that just simply don't know their purpose.
Yeah.
Like each one of us introduced ourselves and we said what we do. But what we do is not who we are.
Yeah.
And you have to learn that you're still LaRonda, even if it's not Jules.
Right.
Mentor. So again, knowing the battle and knowing the assignment and knowing your purpose is half of what you need to do. So you got to get back to basic, to square one, and figure out, who am I? What is my purpose? What am I designed, created to do? And how do I get there?
Right.
So, like, we can say, yes, you need to focus, but if you're focusing on the wrong thing, Houston, we still have a problem.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to be doing what it is that you were created passionately to do, and that's the reason that is ultimately, that's what helps you to focus.
Yeah.
Because if I'm ice skating, I don't know how to ice skate. That's not my passion.
Yeah.
You can be like, oh, you're the best ice skater. No, it's gonna be hard for me to focus in there because that's not something that's in me.
Yeah.
But now, doing what we're doing right now, I can do this.
Yeah.
This is in me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's in me. And so that's so important. So don't lose yourself in trying to be something that you're not.
And you first have to be honest with who you are.
Yeah.
That's good.
You can't figure out who you are if you're not honest with where you are in the moment. So just because you are in that situation or in that, predicament in the moment does not mean that you will always be there.
Right.
So you have to take
good.
your
It's
time
just a
with
moment.
yourself to figure out, what do I want to do? And sometimes you just have to ask that question, God, who am I? Because that's what I did.
Right.
And I was driving down the road and I kept hearing these
he'll
stuff
speak.
about purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, who am I? What am I purposed to do?
Right.
And so I got my answer. And so I understand it. So I know my purpose with Jules. I know where the vision is with Jules. And I ain't wrote the business plan, but I got it in my head.
There you go.
But,
Yeah.
I know the overall purpose of it. And I'm going to continue to do it until it flourishes the way that is in my head. The vision is bright. And so we have to continue to walk in it. But you first have to know, what is your vision, your purpose, and why are you here? Because you're not here just to be here.
Right.
And so many people live life just as is, and they think nothing is. No. When I learned that Aretha was a real estate, I said, good God Almighty, we got a wonderful woman out here. So I could never sell a house. I'm not a salesperson. Miranda can sell whatever. I can't sell nothing. Brittany and Stephanie Renee are teachers.
Yeah,
I don't
I ain't
want to
finna
teach
teach nobody.
in a class. No. So I think me and Stephanie Monique are more on the same level, mentoring and stuff like this. But I don't put my hands to do nothing that I ain't qualified to do.
I know that's
Okay.
real.
There's a grace to do what you
Yeah.
do.
It is.
Yeah.
It
And
is.
to do, we gotta find that grace and flow in it. That's powerful.
Yeah.
I was going to add to Rhonda's thinking, because Brittany and I are certified middle school. Well, I'm certified 6 through 12. You're certified just middle school, right? K through 12. Oh, look at
The whole
Let's be
system.
clear.
She's
K
ready.
through 12. Okay. So she does special education.
Awesome. I do math. So in naming that, when we look at middle school kids, because a lot of times, I know that's where parent participation time tends to dip. It's a sharp nosedive.
Wow.
And so educators, we take on the role of giving students that foundational confidence that parents, I don't know, they slow down with doing when a child hits like 6th grade. Because in kindergarten, you'll pump your kid up before they get in that classroom. All right, you're gonna do a great job today. You're this, you're that. And now as adults, I find myself doing that for myself. And so I don't want us to continue to talk about know who you are and know who you are without giving you a tool.
Okay,
So here's
that's
a tool
good.
to know who you are. So especially if you're already a parent, you do this naturally with your kids anyway. You are smart, you are brilliant.
Yes.
Oh, you look so cute.
Yeah.
You pump your child up. Do that same thing for yourself in the mirror.
Come on now.
Right? So do it in the mirror. Yes, you got this. And you don't even have to be in your bathroom mirror. If you forget in the morning, look in that rearview mirror before you get out the car and say, "Oh, girl, I'm gorgeous," or "I'm this, I'm that." You speak to yourself, and then remember, don't say nothing out loud that you aren't doing the work for. Don't don't sit up here and say, "I'm an entrepreneur," but you won't do the work to start your business.
Right.
So you need some help how to start a business. Clearly, Miss Miranda can get you set up. you. So here's a tool, just those things, those positive things that you say to your children and the positive things that you wish somebody said to you as a child.
Yes.
That's where you start. What are some things that you wish somebody had told you when you were coming up?
Oh, that's
And
big.
that's where you start. Like, I wish somebody had told me I was beautiful. Write down, I am beautiful.
Yes.
And it can be a sticky note. It can be a postcard. It can be lipstick. It can be whatever. Felt tip pen, marker. And say it out loud. Just do it in the mirror. And I promise you, you will see a change in your whole countenance. And I'm sure you as a special education educator, that's all you do a lot of times. Continue to tell those kids, you can do this. You got it. It's okay. Come on. You can do it. Don't beat yourself up. Be gracious to yourself and see what happens. And you'll start to see things just spin and turn away in your life that will blow your mind. So that's why I want to make sure I gave y'all a tool.
Yes.
I had a student come up to me yesterday.
See?
She's like, Miss Vincent. I said, what is it? I'm 1 point from on road. Yes, we be speak. I have to speak it to her. She's like, I can't do this. Yes, you can. You got it. But I need you. You don't need me. You got it. She can. I'm 1 point from on road. You gonna make it.
So awesome.
You gonna get it. You gonna get it.
Now imagine as adults, imagine a world filled with adults that continue to pump themselves up like we do little kids.
Come on.
Because because a lot of what we're lacking is stuff that we didn't get in our childhood.
Yeah.
Rhonda is a life coach, so if you want to dive deeper, that's where you need to go.
My thing is, you better be ready to do the
work. Again, do the work.
I don't play victim.
Exactly.
Okay.
So doing that to just remind yourself of who you are and giving yourself what you wish you had as a kid, all the energy that you pour in other spaces, turn it inward and watch your life change.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
All right.
Encourage yourself.
Encourage
Yes.
yourself.
Okay.
Now. But anyway.
Oh, we got some things.
Yeah,
I'm leaving Brittany alone.
So we have discussed what it's like in our waiting seasons, and then we gave y'all a little bit more extra information. So to get back to the course, I'm going to start with Miss Aretha because, tell me, what is your definition of a wife?
Why?
Oh my.
Oh, my exit now.
I like being put on the spot. But my definition of being a wife is being, the Bible says he who finds a wife is a good thing, and your wife or wife is a helpmeet to your husband. So you need to be in a position that you know how to help him bear the burden and the load of supporting a family. If he's going through a stressful job every day, you need to be that comfort at the end of the day that he can lay his head on and pour out everything without fear of being judged or looked down upon because he may be lacking in the area. Being a wife, you're part of a team. It's an effort. He doesn't do all the work and you get to reap the benefits. Y'all work together in this thing. So you have to learn to be supportive, love unconditionally. You have to listen. You have to be willing to give as well as know how to receive. What else? Yeah, I don't want to keep bringing children into this thing, but children are a part of it. So you need to also let your husband be the man and know how to put the children in their place. So, I love my kids so much, y'all. And everybody, I've had people tell me you still single because you love your kids too much. I'm like, well, you can exit the building now because no. I do love my kids, but at the same time, when I was married, my husband was the head. He was first. I fixed his plate before I fixed the kids. It's not that I didn't have enough food. We all ate at the same time, but it's a respect thing. So as a wife, you need to learn. Exactly. You honor and respect and pretty much learn your place. Now, I'm very outspoken, and sometimes I do have a hard time being submissive. But if your husband is in the right place where he is, then it's okay for you to submit. What's funny?
Stand up here. She's breaking out. She's like,
It's okay.
No, I agree with you.
I agree with you. Sometimes you're going to have to just let him be him.
I agree.
And if he's not, you got to find a way to still tell him what to do and make it seem like he came up with that. But yeah, being a wife is, you're wearing a lot of hats. So
that's good.
Yeah.
It is.
Absolutely. You are.
Let's go with the co-host.
You asking me?
What's your thought and Cause like, you know, I wrote this on Facebook. I'm like, what is a wife? Cause you know, you have to first understand what a wife is and prepare to be these things before you get the one purpose for you.
That's
now,
true.
We can get some other things.
Right.
It ain't hard to get a man.
Yeah.
Right. But you want the one purpose for you.
Right.
That's on where you're gonna go to help you level up and go to the next level. So in that sense, what is your definition of a wife to help you prepare for that?
Ooh, jeez. Girl, okay, hold on. Let me get my thought. But you know, one thing that I think about is, it's just like Aretha was saying earlier, you have to have the ability to know, well, put it this way, you have to be a safe place.
Yeah.
You have to be a safe place. Now, that's one thing, I believe I got that part. You know, but it's so important. It's, you know, because I've been just trying to do a lot of reading, a lot of praying, a lot of studying on that kind of thing. Because I'm just like, my prayer is, God, make me a wife. I want to be what I need to be for this, you know, the specific man that you have for me. So being a safe place, and also learning to really respect that man, because sometimes as women, we you know,
sometimes for an independent woman to submit.
Exactly.
You're used to doing things your way. You've been by yourself. You and your child have been just you and your child for so long. So it may not be really easy to let somebody come in and take over and be the head.
Right. But see, I'm gonna say, and I want to bring this other. I have this question that was rolling in my mind when everybody was talking. So, you know, as far as being a single lady, you know how they'll tell you all the time, don't give a boyfriend husband benefits.
How is that?
So how?
You just automatically a wife.
Right. How do you balance that thing? Like even in like the, you know, the dating sense or whatever. Like what would be the, how do you, I don't even know how, I'm trying to figure out how to word it right. But
you said it right the first time. How do you balance that?
Right.
How do you balance having a boyfriend and not giving him wife?
But it's just benefits.
Yeah, there you go.
For me, I mean, I'm not a wife yet, and at one point I will be. I'm not a mom yet. At one point I will be, and I'm actively doing the work that it takes to get to that place. Help us, Holy Ghost. But I want. Most of the married couples that I've encountered, they always say, "Man, I married my best friend." I want to be with my friend first.
That's the indicator.
And so if we can't just like chill and kiki, and because I love God, I love reading the Word, I love, you know, I love church, I love singing, all of that. But I don't want to talk about the Bible 24 hours of the day. I want to be able to have regular conversation and to just hang out and to kiki. If, you know, God comes up awesome. If it doesn't, I want to know what TV shows is he like. What makes him tick? What are his triggers? Because as a person who's, you know, continuing to heal from anxiety and depression, I got to tell this man my triggers, and I got to be able to communicate that and be able and not make him responsible for my emotional space. And make sure that I know how to calm myself down so that I don't get to popping off with him. But if he's my friend, we've already worked through that in the friendship. Because I feel like if I marry somebody because he cute, or if I marry him and I'm just gonna put it out there because we got some sexual things in common, if that's the basis of what we got going on, then it's not, look at that foundation, is not gonna last. But the marriages that I've seen that have lasted, that I enjoy watching and being a part of, they were friends first. And so I want to make sure that he and I are friends and we can just hang out and kiki, so that the submission piece won't be an issue for me. Because as my friend, I'm as his friend, and as my friend, hopefully I have an idea of how my friend handles their finances. Because your friend will vent to you like, girl, I'm broke, or I ain't got this, or I need help with this. So if you got a friend that's always needing certain things, and you know, I don't know if I should continue in that way, because you'll keep pouring out, they'll drain you. Emotionally, financially, physically. I don't want somebody that's constantly draining me. I like to keep my cup full. As Ronnie used to say to me, what's in the cup is for me, what's in the saucer is for you. So if you took everything from the if you took everything out of my saucer, then baby, that's it. I don't know what to tell you, sis, bro, or whatever. Right? So for me, I want to make sure we're solid friendship. And so that there are certain things that I'll have insight on. Whereas if I was just, looking for what I'm looking for, whether it's to get his money or to get his this or to get his that, I don't want to go in with those types of motives. You don't have the types of motives with your real friends.
Right.
Your real friends, you just want to make sure that they're okay. So why wouldn't I want to do that for my husband?
Right.
So I would like to see that translation happen. But I know that will take communication. So in learning how to communicate, I look at the relationships that I have with just my friends, and I would love to bring that into my marriage whenever that day comes. So that's the mindset I have for what a wife is. I want to be his friend first.
Yes.
And I also, to finish the scripture that you used, and this I'm going to close out, you said a man that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from you. You already see the favor on my life, boo. So, if he want to get on this favor train, he'll make a good decision. He'll put a ring on. He gonna make a decision.
Come on now.
But if he don't, I'm gonna still hang out and go.
And he gonna make a decision quickly.
Listen.
Come on now.
Come on.
I ain't gonna miss that time. Okay.
It won't take 20 years.
It ain't gonna take no 2-3 years for him to decide.
Come on now.
Because he gonna be like,
I ain't letting that one get away. I see that favor.
Yes, come on.
Monique, definition of a wife.
Definition of a wife is, I want to say two things first. Submission begins when agreement ends. There's no need for me to submit to you if I'm in agreement with you. I submit to you when I don't agree with you.
That's good. That's
so a wife is selfless, responsible, mature, loving, caring, able to see the vision. It's sometimes that men can make some decisions and you be like, what you doing? Who told God told you that?
No sense.
God ain't tell me that. God told you that. And so you have to be able to again see the vision, operate in the vision, and help to complete the vision, because every vision fits inside of a larger vision. So whatever God has given him, his purpose, his calling, it should co-align with whatever it is that I'm doing. And we come together to make a complete whole. Next thing, that's my definition of a wife. Next thing is the way that you keep a boy or have a friend, a male friend, a boyfriend, and not give him wife benefits or husband benefits is boundaries. You have to have boundaries, and you have to be obedient to the boundaries, and you gotta commit to the boundaries. Okay, so if and your boundaries are your boundaries.
Yep, all boundaries are not the same for each person.
They are not.
It depends on what y'all trying to do,
what y'all trying to do. But now, if we talking about a stable 40 years, right? If we talking about a stable foundation, like what you was just saying, a man that find a wife find a good thing, and he obtain the favor from the Lord. So it's not like I don't become a wife when I get engaged. I'm already a wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm already operating in, my prayers, my diligence, my self-care. I'm already operating in these things. And what I was going to say was, this is something that helped me. Okay. So this is a unique-ism thing that helps Monique. Okay. Boundaries, yes, but there are stages. And I learned to keep myself at the proper stage at the proper time. So like attraction, first and foremost. What are your goals? What's your mindset? And you don't have to ask these questions. Listen to people.
Yes,
watch what they do.
Yes.
Your
speech
will
betray you.
Watch what they do.
Yeah,
And if they say something but their actions don't match,
Right.
automatically you can say there's something going on there. And so again, you can say, am I attracted to that? I choose to continue. Or I say, this is not, what I'm saying? And then I move forward. I think sometimes we fall in love with the idea of what we think or see that you can be, because let's be honest, women are nurturers.
Potential.
Women
We
are
are.
nurturers. You can give us a seed and we'll turn it into a child.
What you
Hello?
said got a beautiful.
Huh? So you can give us something and we're going to multiply it and give it back to you, right?
Right.
Thank you, Dr. Miles Monroe.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think that it's important that we understand what we are attracted to. And remember this, you are attracted to who you are, not what you want.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
That's
So, second thing is friendship. I get to know him. Man, what you like to watch? What you like to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get to know him. Third thing is emotions. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning. Like, if I have a flat tire, will you come and rescue me?
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If I no, what?
No, I got AAA. See, that's what I'm saying. See, my independent.
Yeah, that's
Like, I
good.
got that
I got AAA too, but I'm checking to see if you caring enough.
I agree. You should. But what I'm telling you is, I had to learn that.
Oh, you gotta learn that. Oh,
I
okay.
learned that.
But
I
see,
had to
I'm
learn
divorced, so I learned.
Yeah.
I learned to check these things out because once we get there, if my husband ever tell me call AAA,
Baby.
I'm gonna stay
out of town. If he out of town, then we'll handle it. I'm gonna call AAA, but I'm still calling him, and he probably gonna call AAA and be like, "Hey, go get my baby." You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. I need that. I could not never call my husband. He be like, "Babe, I'm gonna need you." I should have got that. I did. I said I never. You know. So emotions and then commitment and then intimacy. And I think sometimes if we just being 100, we'll go from attraction to intimacy and we try to worry about the rest in between. And you already be like, man, I don't really like the way you eat.
Right.
You know, and that's your friend. You be like, you smack too much.
Right.
You know, but you didn't discover all of that because you moved too fast. So I think boundaries are important in making sure that you don't give the benefits away before the time.
Right.
Okay, then that was good. Brenda, definition of wife.
Well, let's see. So, like she said, I have been married before, and I got married young.
That's good.
So, honestly, I'm 31. I got married. What age I got married? You remember? Like,
Y'all was learning together
Yeah,
then.
it was 22, 20.
yeah.
somewhere in there.
So, actually, I'm still developing.
That's okay.
Maybe I wasn't a good wife then because I didn't know how to be.
That's good, sis.
And so I'm still
I didn't
learning.
either.
So I'm listening to what y'all say. I want to be a wife again, yes, I do. But I gotta learn my roles.
Absolutely.
I can't take that to something new if I'm trying to.
Right.
You know, I gotta learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not saying that I was a bad wife, maybe I just didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to be married. Hey, hi.
Right.
Yep, because
But
that's common.
Right.
Yeah,
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm married now.
Right.
But baby, are you doing what it takes to be married?
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm still learning.
Okay, that's good. Well, I guess I need to have my definition of a wife. But I've learned through watching, I stopped listening to a lot of women when it comes to what a man needs for one. So I have for the last year been listening to all men panels about relationships. What I have come to learn is that men seek the exact same thing as women do. So the number one for me is learning to listen. Because men speak what they want, but they don't speak the language that we understand. So you have to have discernment in order to hear beyond what he's saying and look beyond what he's doing. Because most men are, if they are men and they are in that, because as we know, men are naturally protectors and providers. So their whole world is surrounded with protection and providing. And so, like, we may need one thing, but in their head, as long as I'm doing the providing, I'm handling it.
Right.
So we have to look beyond what they do and what they say and listen with, to me, I guess, a spiritual ear. And constantly affirm. Like, I want to be one of those wives who can sense her husband's pain without him speaking a word.
Yeah.
You an intercessor, baby.
I'm not an intercessor, that's an intercessor.
You an intercessor?
Yeah.
I want to be able to know where he is emotionally and be able to cater to that without him speaking a word.
That's good.
Yeah. And feeling like you're running him.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So if he comes in from a hard day's work, I need to be mentally and emotionally prepared to set aside what I've gone through to be there for him in that moment. If it's to lay on the couch and he lay on my lap, or for me to give him a hug when he walks through the door, I want to be that wife that can sense him. If that makes sense to y'all.
You do.
Yeah.
So
we do that with our friends. Like if I answer the phone a certain way, you like, Stephanie, what's wrong?
Yeah.
You know. So I want to be able to do that for my spouse.
That's the same.
Everybody at this table has spoke, everything to what a wife is. I'm just giving my perspective.
Yes.
But, a little bit, because I do agree with all of them. The communication, the loyalty, all that stuff we know. I'm just going where I am, stuff. Anyway, I don't work since I was 15 years old. Okay? I'm sick of paying all these bills. I am learning. For years, I've carried a masculine spirit.
Oh,
Of
wow.
I can handle it myself. I don't need you. And
That's
I
good.
wanted to be in that role where I want to do everything for the man, but I wasn't allowing the man to do nothing for me.
Okay.
That's
Because yes. Yes. So I'm in a season of learning to ask. Learning to ask, because I was taught you don't ask people for nothing. My mama was an independent woman. You don't ask nobody for nothing. You get out there and you work for it, you make it happen yourself. So I want to be a feminine wife. I want to be more feminine to like, babe, can I have these boots? And he either gonna say yes and he's gonna say no. I want to have my husband's dinner fixed for him when he come home from work, and I want to be able to serve him that plate and not have the mindset that you said you better get up and fix your own plate.
That's my perspective.
What?
I said, so you ain't supposed to buy the boots and then say, hey, you like them?
But when you are a wife and husband,
No, I
you just
got
say bye.
Yeah, I got you.
Especially me, because I'm gonna be an at-home wife. Working my business.
Hey, you go, girl.
I ain't working. When I get married, I'm not working there another night.
There you go.
My full job is gonna be my ministry.
There you go.
That's it. So, and I'm gonna have a husband that provides that for me. I believe that.
So
There
you
you
got to
go.
have a separate bank account where you can just spend your own money and then.
He gonna make sure I have it.
I'm just making it plain for the viewers.
See, he gonna understand all that. Cause let me tell you, my dad gives my mama a weekly allowance. She doesn't work anymore. So from his extra jobs, he wants to be sure that my mom continues the life she had when she worked. So he gives her money weekly for her own benefit and her own bank account.
They out there. They're there. I'll tell you, my dad, because I told you my parents have been married for over 40 years. They trust each other. No one has ever stepped outside the marriage. They had maybe a couple of, arguments, but what marriage doesn't.
Yeah.
But they're so loving and trusting that my dad goes to work at Cooper Tire. He gives the check to my mom. She pays the bills, buys everything we need, and she keeps the rest. He's fine because everything he needs is met. So as far as like the allowance, she does. I mean, she works, but in her own sense. So it's kind of hard to say that what works for one home may not work for every home.
And I want to add to that thought. I'm sorry. Who's about to go? Yeah, I want to add to that thought because when you marry, you have to think about we're all going to be married at different starting points. Wow. My starting point is single, no children. I've started a career. I'm in my career, in my business, starting to really kick some things off in my life. I've written a book. I've done some things. Whereas if I would have gotten married at 22, I was fresh out of college. I didn't have credit. I was already in debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, even now, whoever I marry, they're gonna know I come with college debt.
Yes.
Right, and I'm still accruing that because one thing about right, and I let them know. Well, and I let them know up front. You're absolutely right. And the thing about marrying a woman that's smart and likes education, because we're in education, we don't always looking for a training, a degree, something, a certificate. You graduated, man. Congrats. So we're yes, sis. So we're always going to be looking for ways to learn, and some of our ways to learn is not free. So he'll know that like I'm in a different starting point at 33 versus 23. And then if Rhonda's 44, she's at a different starting point from me. So the man that she's looking for, I would hope, has retirement and been, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
44, like you better come with. He better not be, just a little rundown.
Right.
Like he needs to come with some stuff. So the expectation of somebody in their 20s versus their 30s versus their 40s or 50s or 60s, it's different starting points. And so somebody that's been married 40 years versus somebody that's a newlywed or been married 4 years, and their age and where they were in time and in life is going to be different starting points. And you have to think about where this person is at this moment. If it never changes, can I be okay with it?
Right.
Because some people don't want to grow. So if where that person is, that where you are right now, if he is okay, and some of you watching might, have other partners that you want to have. If they are not willing to grow and continue to be better, you might want to reconsider. So if you're a person that's you're working on your I ams, you're working on your purpose, you're in your bag, you're doing this, you're doing that, and that person can't catch on to that momentum, you might want to, that's when that recalculating. That's when that recalculating happens. You'll always sit, and you'll always have some type of buffer to let you know, like, wait a minute, this is not exactly what I want to sign up for, short term or long term.
Right.
So look at what's in your, the signs are usually there. And if it's not something that you can't handle, communicate that. And if they're willing to change it, awesome. But if they're like, this is who I am, this is how it's going to be.
Right.
This is how I gracefully let people exit. It was nice meeting you.
Okay. Yeah.
This has been a pleasure. I don't care if I met that person. We've been knowing each other for 3 months or 3 years. It was nice meeting you. This was great. It was fantastic. And it was awesome. When somebody retires, don't they throw a little celebration? They tell them all the great things that they did and how awesome they were. And all right, then you go on your way. And guess what? They feel that position with somebody else. So you'll meet somebody else. There are multiple the ones, because we as women, we've met the one I don't know how many times. Now I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna throw that out there, because I thought I met the one at 22, 23, 25, 27, and I'm still single. So so I had to learn, can I accept what's in front of me now? Can we grow together? Because even at 33, I still want to grow. I'm sure at 22 you were trying to grow. In your 40s, we're all trying to grow and evolve. So if that person's not trying to grow and evolve, it was nice meeting you. Because I always try to give you too. That's it.
Another thing, I am responsible for my articulation,
yes,
but not for the reciprocation.
Okay.
And you do not want to do, or in other words, if you're not going to treat me the way I want to treat you, if you're not going to grow like you were saying, bye. I ain't responsible for that. I ain't responsible for it.
Yeah, and that's one of the other things as a wife I want to be is able to reciprocate what my husband gives. But I also want my husband to be able to reciprocate to me as well. You have to know that you can't give someone what you want them to have. I want to be able to fulfill my husband's voice in the way that he needs those things filled. Not because I feel like he needs a hug. He may just need some time alone. He may go on a fishing trip.
Right.
I want to be able to pay for that fishing trip for him to go on.
Right.
You can't continue to be, even for your husband, he has to understand, for me, gifts are not big to me. Because I am the only girl.
Right.
So I was raised as the only girl and the baby. There is no gift that I ain't got. Right. About me. Okay. But my parents were good. My mama, even though she was a single mother, she was independent. She didn't have the emotional things to give me. And my dad didn't. He still don't have them. But he's trying. I gotta give him a But emotional connection is very important to me. Why? Because I lack that. That's what my void is.
Right.
So that's my love language, quality time and affirmation of work. I need constant reassurance.
Yes.
It's not that I can't make it without it. It's just a need that I have.
Right.
And so if you're my husband, you have to be willing to give me that. You can go buy me boots all day. I'm enjoying the boots. I'm not saying I like gifts.
Yeah.
But I would much rather have you.
I've said that
Yeah.
so many times. Like the last relationship I was in, he didn't understand my love language. You can bring me money, you can lay it on the table. I appreciate it, but that's not what I want.
Right.
I want balance. Like if you work that much, I need you to be able to balance.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need some time to.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
You can't be. I understand men are providing, they're gonna work. I get that, but at least give me half of that.
Yes.
To just be in your presence.
That's a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you work 7 days a week, at least give me one of those days. And if you can't give me a whole day, well, give me at least half that day, just to be in your presence. But I think men really don't understand it a lot. So I want to be able to balance and be that for my husband, because I know that if he's fulfilled and I'm not constantly, I don't want to be a nagger, I don't want to be an arguer, I don't be anything like that. I want to be able to effectively communicate what it is to him that I need, but not just that, but tell him why I need it. Because if you know the why, they will be more able to do it.
Yes.
So you ain't spending no time with me, you ain't doing this to me. Okay, in his mind, when I'm working and I'm making sure you got this house over, I'm making sure you got this car insurance paid.
Yeah.
And so he's saying that, but I didn't say, well, babe, I need you to spend time with me because as a kid, I didn't get this. It is very important because it fills that void. So once he understands the why, he'll be more amped to do that instead of him just thinking that you're nagging.
Right.
So communication is good, but comprehension is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Come on, girl.
You got it covered.
Come on.
Comprehension.
You
Yes.
got to understand the assignments.
I didn't see the assignment, and everybody read comprehension level ain't the same.
Ain't
So
the same.
I know I come with collegiate words, and if my husband is not a college graduate, I need to know how to communicate with him. That means he's stupid, dumb, or none of that.
Yeah.
But I just know how to communicate with him. As an educator, we have kids with different learning styles, come from different houses and homes. I have to communicate with all of those kids a different way, and all of them are still intelligent. But I have to have the intelligence within myself to know the way I talk to Johnny ain't the same way I can talk to Susan or LaQuisha or LaQuanda or Jose. I gotta think different.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ron.
You also have to ask questions to understand your husband's trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Because wherever that trauma is where he is mentally sometimes.
That's true.
And so you're gonna may have to go because I was watching the all man panel and this was so profound to me. And the man said sometimes a woman's wife is his healer. And he said, I know a lot of women will say, well, I ain't got time for this. He said, but you go to the doctor, but the doctor didn't cause the pain, but the doctor is the one that can heal.
Okay.
So sometimes you are that man's healer and that man's balm in Gilead.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, that's a lot. So the conversations that you have in the beginning are very important. So you first have to know yourself to know what it is you want, to ask the questions that need to be asked, and to see how he responds to those questions.
Yeah.
So if you don't get the answer, access denied.
Exactly. And that just
But,
makes me,
yeah.
just to interject just real quick, that just makes me think of Iyanla Van Zandt when she was
Come
saying,
on,
she was saying, I realized after being with a man 14 years, he didn't love me the way I wanted to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
So she said I had to go. And I was like, back in the day now, I probably would have thought, oh, that's so selfish. How you going to tell somebody I love you? I wouldn't have thought of it the same way. But it's a true thing. You can't sit up somewhere and they ain't treating you the way you want to be treated. You just settle.
Yep.
Don't settle.
Not settle.
And that's where I am like, I can't settle because I know too much about me now.
Right.
Yes.
And I know that my father, not my biological father,
Hey.
but
all
my
right.
father
Come on, Abba.
says that I will give you desires of your heart when your ways please
Yes.
him.
Yes.
So if my ways please him, there's no way in the world I have to settle for someone that's emotionally unavailable. But you usually attract the things that you void the most inside you.
Yes.
So I never encountered a man who is emotionally available to me.
Yes.
And so and I sought that in him. But now that I understand that struggle that I had, I've overcome it. Now I look at other things. What does this man have to benefit me in my next level? Because you can benefit me in this level.
Right.
But can you go to the other side with me and we still maintain this? Because if you want to sit here and your mind is all about money, we ain't on the same level. Because I have belief in me that my Father shall provide.
Yes.
Money
But
Yeah.
when you follow the vision.
Yes.
And so where there's a vision, he makes
Provision.
So therefore, our visions have to be the same. And when you have two visions, it becomes division, and it's going to be a split there. And so I want to be able to know, okay, where are we going with this in the future? If I'm called to travel, are you willing to get on this plane with me?
Right.
Will you be that protection for me while I'm out here on this road?
Yeah.
I want to be a bonus mom. Because I still want to raise kids, but I don't really think I want to have no more. But if that's see fit, and if I'm 45, God, like, well, because I always wanted to raise a family. I want a husband, me, and a baby to raise. And God may give me my own, and I'm open to that. I'm 40. I'm still open to that, but once it's over, it's over. You know, if my husband has a child, then I'm okay with it because I still want to be a mother. Even though my kids are grown, I'm still a mother. I have a grandbaby, but that's still not my baby. Right. So I want to be able to experience what is it like to be in a home with a two-parent home. Because I grew up in a broken home because my parents divorced when I was 12, and then I raised my kids as a single parent. So I want to experience that, and I truly believe that I will have that, and I'm not going to settle just because you are a good man that I have to settle for you not spending time with me. Okay. I'm not doing that.
Right.
No need.
Right.
Because there are men who are millionaires that still make time for their wives. Yes. They have a date night. They have a night where he gives her. I mean, so it's not that you can't. It's just that you choose not to. Yeah. So that's where I'm in with. I just want to be. And I think I'm gonna have to probably have a man that's near retirement.
That's okay.
And it's okay. So I'm just like, I know what I want, and I can't settle for anything less anymore. I can't. So the men that gonna see me in my next level, like, dang, I had her.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the key word.
And I was willing to give up everything for you.
Right.
But you let me get to discovering myself. And so in order for me to be with you, that means you got to level up, because I cannot lower my expectations in you.
Yeah, that's good.
So anybody else have anything?
I guess you said, wait, it was a word you said started with E. It just doesn't. What we were talking about, originally we started talking about waiting in our waiting season and what that was like for me. And I'll be very frank, I have had impatience in my waiting too. So I don't want to act like, oh, my waiting season's just been great and grand. I never had a bad day. I never had a lonely moment. I never cried myself to sleep or cried myself awake. It's always been wonderful. Even with my career, I love teaching. And a lot of teachers will tell you there are days when we cry ourselves to work and cry ourselves home because we worry about our kids. We worry if we did the lesson right or not, you know. Yeah. So the waiting season does have turbulence. Yeah. Your GPS will tell you the destination, but it won't tell you that a car accident gonna happen an hour when you're driving. It might delay you 30 minutes. And you still got to have a good attitude while you're sitting in that 30-minute wait, because you don't know what is happening. Or it could have been you in the accident. Or it may give you an alternate route to go around it. Or the accident could happen right in front of you. It doesn't tell you that yes, a green light, a stoplight coming, but you don't know if it's gonna be green, yellow, or red by the time you get there. So you thinking you just gonna zoom right through, but you might need to pause for a second. You might need to yield. You might. It's some other things. There are other things on the journey that you don't want to miss, and there are things on the journey that are uncomfortable and that don't feel good. That'll make you want to cry. It'll make you want to fight, cuss, all of that. But continue to move forward. As long as you're making forward motions and forward decisions, it'll all work itself out and you'll get to where you're intended to be. Because we all have different starting points. So just remember that you'll get to where you're going. Enjoy the parts of the journey that you can, even ones that don't feel so good. Connect with people that are in a better place and, maybe they'll help pull you out and vice versa. So it's a partnership, it's teamwork. But when it gets uncomfortable and sometimes feels unbearable, know that you have people that you can go to and you got a God you can go to.
Okay,
And
right.
we're all created to relate and work together to get to that place. So that's it for me.
Well, we're going to get ready to end the dinner and dialogue. We've been on for a good minute, about an hour and a half.
Okay. This is fun.
So we're going to do a quick talk about what we're doing to prepare for our husbands and what is our ideal mate, and then we're gonna try to do this and give us 3 characteristics of your ideal mate.
Oh,
Uh,
I hope y'all feel depressed. We feel depressed, okay?
You feel depressed. I don't feel depressed at this moment.
Depressed.
so
3 characteristics.
3.
and you can't say protector, provider, loyalty, honesty. You can't say none of
Oh
that.
my.
Outside the
Don't
box.
feel depressed.
I mean, I'm trying to, but I'm gonna say some other stuff that might not need to be on
I
the age. So you better be very clear. What age group watching? At this point.
They grown. I don't care you watching.
No, okay, all right.
So, we know the basics. We know protector, provider, affectionate, loving, understanding, patient, loyal. We know all that. But uniquely for you, give me 3 things you want your ideal mate to be. And what are you doing in this present moment to prepare for him? And then we're going to come back with last words. And I think I'm going to let Brittany end us with a song. And then Monique will end us with a prayer. Okay. Let's start with my co-host.
Okay, so 3 characteristics for uniquely for me.
Uniquely for you.
Okay, so it's kind of hard because I think about myself and I know he needs to have these things, but I need him to have a good sense of humor. That's one thing. Have a good sense of humor.
Okay.
I need him because I'm goofy. I would love to have a husband that could be just as goofy as me. I want him to be somebody who will help me to step outside the box sometimes. Because sometimes I can, I may not just jump. Like, I'm a risk taker, but somebody that can get me to do things that I've never done. Okay. And another thing, I need him to be
and like that.
No, but I want somebody that is romantic.
Yes, romance.
Because now me, I'm not the best with PDA and all this stuff like that. I'm just not. But I want somebody that's got that ability to bring it out of me. That I can feel safe to feel that woman that, bring out my sexual prowess, however you say that. But just to be the woman, to be flirty, and I want to feel comfortable doing that because I can't say I've always felt that way.
Okay, and I'm gonna go next. I want 3 things for me is someone that loves to play. Like I like to play fight and run around the house with water guns. Whipped cream fights and stuff. I like that.
cream fight.
Yeah.
Wait.
I want to be.
All the clean stuff.
Right.
Okay. You already know what's up, don't you?
Yeah. Y'all keep going with your list, sis. Keep going, sis.
Whipped cream fights.
The bed is undefiled. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
It ain't gotta be just the bed though, but
It
keep
ain't
on.
the concept of the bed. Let me. You're right. You're right. Go on with your
Okay,
list.
I want someone that I can like tell everything to.
That's good.
Like I would call them, girl. I want to be able to call my babe.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
and just be like, it's nothing that I want to keep from him. Like, and he be like, and he talk to me like it ain't nothing. Well, babe, you know. So I want us to be able to be like truly, truly, truly best friends.
Yeah.
And he understands, you know, that I have my friends, and he's not gonna have an issue with me flying out to see my friends. Because I want a man that moves me out of Mississippi too.
Okay.
So, and he has his own. I want to go. Not saying that I don't want my own, but I want to be able for a man to provide those things for me. And even and you know, for a long time I didn't even think that way, but I'm at that place now, and so and I want him to be like very, like Miranda said, but spontaneous. Be like, babe, pack a bag, we finna go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not even pack a bag, babe, meet me here at 5:00, and then I go meet him, and we just go on a spontaneous trip, and you know, stuff like that. So yeah, and so I don't want the norm. I want something that's catered specifically for Rhonda and my personality, because a lot of people don't know my personality. Stephanie knows my personality. And Miranda kind of knows, but I'm very silly. Yeah. And so I don't show that a whole lot because I haven't found the safety to find someone to show that to. But I just want my husband to embrace all of that about me. Yes. I love playing. Love it. And I think that it's so romantic for you and your mate to be able to play.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yes, so this that. And so for me, preparing for that is trying to figure how to be more open, and I know that it was like, well, don't give, you know, boyfriend means Tuesday, but that is my way of coming out and being open, because I'm going to have to practice that somewhere in order to be able to prepare for to do it with my husband. I can say I can do it all day, but I need to be able to practice to be comfortable with it in order to give my husband it. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just practicing to be more open and vulnerable and show that part of me where, you know, I'm not afraid to give a man that part of me.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Okay, Brittany.
So, like on a serious note, I need someone that'll be able to come in and love my kids like they're his own.
Yes.
Because I do have two, and they're young. I have a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old, so they're still needing that father figure, and I can't be that father figure. I cannot teach my son how to be a man.
Right.
I play every sport.
Yes.
Man,
So I need someone. This is just for me. That's gonna come in and take that. It's not a burden, but that. Responsibility. Take him to football practice. I take her to dance. You do football practice. You do baseball practice. But right now, I'm having to do everything.
Right.
And see, my mom comes in and helps, because sometimes my kids have things on the same day.
Wow.
Just different times, or maybe at the same time. I'm like, hey, I need you. I need somebody to come help me with that responsibility. Not just take responsibility, but help me.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna need somebody also.
Right.
As far as me, I'm gonna need that time. That's one of my love languages. I need quality time. I need reassurance. And so sometimes I feel like I'm a nagger because I keep on saying, hey, are you coming today? Did you not see me text? Did you not see me call? I'm working. No, I need you. I need you. I need that quality time. Also, someone accepting my flaws. Because I'm definitely not perfect. I'm goofy, I'm funny, but I have my ways. And that's just from being, I guess, growing up without a dad.
Right.
My dad died before I was born, like 7 days before I was born.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't grow up with a dad, so I didn't have that father's love. Now my mom got married and I had a stepdad, and he helped, but it's nothing like your own.
Yeah.
Your own. So I'm gonna need somebody to come in and just show me how to be loved. Show me how I can love them, because everybody is different. So that's me.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
I want a man to make me his priority.
Yes.
I ain't nobody's option. If I ain't
Come
no
on
one,
now.
you can go. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I need a man, like she said, I also have children. And I do have young children. So I want a man who wants to be my children's father.
Yes.
Don't tolerate my kids just to get next to me.
Right.
So you're going to have to build a relationship with my kids. And pretty much you're going to be their father. And not just there, to lay down with me. Because that's not going to work much longer. I do need him to be spontaneous. I do like to take trips. So plan something without me always having to say, well, let's go here. And don't tell me we ain't got the money.
Okay.
Right.
We may not have it at this time, but just say, baby, give me this date. We're going to go here. We need to find a way to make it work. So I'm just, I don't feel like I'm being unreasonable.
Right.
You are not.
I had a dad who did that for my mom. I had a husband who did that for me. So the next person going to have to follow in line. I'm just being real. That was 3 things, wasn't it? So I'll stop there. So,
We all, the thing about it is we have to know what we want, and if the person can't provide it, we can easily walk away, because I do believe that we can have that which we ask for.
Yeah.
And you don't have to settle. And so you can't do it. I don't have nothing against you. I understand it, but you're just not the one, because there are some negotiables, but there's also some non-negotiables that's just not gonna fly.
Right.
And so if your non-negotiables, no matter how good you are, if you are if you do anything in the non-negotiable, I can't be there.
right.
No matter how good you are to me, no matter what you give me, that non-negotiable is if you go past that, then you're settling. Right. That is my opinion.
And
Okay, I'm still
I
standing
add this
with
real
Nathan.
quick? I should have said this first and foremost. I need you to have a relationship with the Lord.
Yes.
You can't come in this house any kind of way and expecting our home to flow out of the will of God. So you got to have God first, and then everything else will fall into place. So.
And it's not religion. It ain't none. It's like you have to have that spirituality. You got to. You got to have that relationship. Okay, Stephanie Monique, because Stephanie Renee got to go later.
Yes, she do.
She gonna take the show out.
No, I ain't. Yes, she is. What's the question again? Qualification.
What is your 3 characteristics of your ideal mate uniquely for you? Not the common stuff. That's uniquely Monique.
Yeah.
Come on, uniquely Monique. Don't make that little plug.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. So first and foremost, I have to have a connection spiritually. Like I have to be connected to a man spiritually before I'm connected to him any other way. If I'm connected to you spiritually, then everything else will follow. I'm gonna just be honest. Okay. All right. Second thing, well, for me, I need prayer. I need coverage. Like, I know you said, not the normal things, the providing and stuff like that, but it means a lot to me if you can handle those things in the spiritual realm, because I believe that the spiritual realm and the natural realm, they don't negate one another. Like, you can't be too spiritual and not have the natural, but then too natural and not have the spiritual. So for me, I need that balance. Secondly, he got to learn how to solve conflict. Like, he got to be a conflict resolution person. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever problem, situation arise, I'm gonna need the leadership to, come on out. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I should be solving all of the issues and the problems by myself. So whatever the case may be, he has to be a great conflict resolution person. And then lastly, I would say that I need him to love me, flaws and all. Like unconditional love.
Yes.
Like whether that be my peakiness, my quirks, my run around the bedroom, slap you upside the head with a pillow, like whatever the case may be. I need him to say, I love your great qualities and I love you so much that I want to walk with you through your bad.
Wow.
Yes, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I need that. That's 3.
Okay. That's good. Okay, so we're finna get ready to end. I have really enjoyed this. I don't know if y'all ready for this.
It's not that bad.
Okay, Stephanie Renee, what is your 3?
I'm tactful. So I thank
that.
God for tact.
Yes.
So he needs to be creative. I want him to have the ability to create because the God I serve is a creator.
Yes.
And he spoke and it was.
Yes.
He
Okay.
spoke
Come on
and
now.
it was.
Come on.
He spoke and it was. And so I want it to be that my spouse, my husband has creative ability because I am a creative person and that excites me to know
She
that.
already started.
Yeah, like, oh, you want to do what, boo? All right, let's go, let's hit it. And then I want to be there for him too, so we can both create and continue to evolve together, which leads me to growth mindset. So I want, can he learn from me and can I learn from him? Because I'm a lover of learning. I committed my life to education, and so when it comes to my relationship with my friends, family, whoever that's like really connected to me, I want to be able to look and be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna take that idea. I'm gonna give you credit, maybe, maybe not." But that inspired me, which goes back to the creative piece. So he's got to have creativity. He's got to have a growth mindset, and I want him to be able to pleasure me, and I want to be able to pleasure him. So I don't want to act like that's not important. I know there are 24 hours in a day, and you don't do that for 24 hours, but however long we in it, I want it to be a great time.
And I understand.
And I want it to be a good time. So that goes back to that growth mindset. Can you learn? Be creative. Can you learn my body? And I'm gonna learn yours, and we gonna, everybody talking about that Sierra prayer and all of that, but Sierra also knew how to do some other things beyond just praying. So I just say, she had to do some other things too. So praying, fasting, reading the Bible, going to church, all that, that's wonderful. But again, when all of that is away and it's just you and him at the end of the day, start of the day or whenever, y'all get that right too. So those are my 3.
Try anything once.
Yeah. Okay. Creative, growth mindset, and pleasure. Those are my 3.
My pastor told
Pleasurable. Sorry.
My pastor told his wife when they first met, he said he wanted to dip her in chocolate and roll her in nuts.
See what I'm saying? Creative. Creative. I got chocolate right now. I'm allergic to peanuts. But we can try marshmallows. I'm allergic to pecans, but we can do marshmallows. We can do marshmallows. You know, we can do another. Yeah, we can do s'mores. We can do brown crackers. Nutella. We can do that.
Pineapples.
We can, but we can creatively grow to figure out the plan.
We'll bring more.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with it.
I'm just saying. So that's it.
We're being honest. We talk about that. You
can't turn around that conversation.
But that is true. You have to have a healthy sex life. It just is.
Yeah.
No one is going to go in a relationship without it. And I don't know why people are so against talking about it and stuff like that.
You better.
It ain't always about the men. You know, women. Some women are worse than men when it comes to this.
Yes.
Right.
And so that's a very important topic. And you need to have those conversations with whoever you with to know what is your fantasies. Because some people got fetishes and all types of stuff. So you need to be able to. You better be having those conversations because they may want some 50th grade.
50 shades of gray. If that's what they want, y'all need to have that conversation.
Yeah.
If you ain't into that, you need to go.
Somebody somewhere is gonna be into
Yeah.
that. So those conversations have to be done. Even just simple stuff. You know, if you ain't into fellatio and all that stuff like that, you know, those conversations need to be had with whoever you with, and you need to get out because that can be something that destroy your marriage if your wife or your husband is not sexually fulfilled. And those are conversations for another day. But it needs to be happening.
Yeah.
But I want to be the type of woman to support my husband in whatever endeavors he have. You know, if he want to start a booger shop, let's start this shop, baby. You know, what you want me to do? You know, I mean,
Do booger not, boo. Don't just talk about boogers. And then do tissue, because somebody might want to clean it.
I got to see it.
so their support for a man is very important. So you have to know what you are capable of.
Yes.
I know there are certain things I cannot be capable of, and so I'm not going to put myself in a position to fail him in those areas.
Right.
So those conversations, those talks, they really need to be held, because you thinking it's all hunky dory, because in the beginning phase everything is so good, but y'all ain't had a deep conversation. You don't know if their parents are dead, or if they had a death of a child. Christmas holidays and birthdays are emotional for him, so he's moody that day. It ain't about you. It's that he's depressed and he's feeling those things. All those things you need to know. Yes. He may get angry all of a sudden one day. It has nothing to do with you, but you need to be able to discern that and be supportive of him in those times.
Yes.
And give him a hug, a kiss, or just come on, babe, let's go out to the movie. You need to be so in tune that you know without knowing. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Give him what's Michael Claiborne's book, Her Lap, His Safe Place. Oh my God. And when we finna end, he made this statement. He said Delilah's response to Samson was so powerful that even though she was sent to destroy him, he yet gave her his heart because of the words she spoke to him. It's all about the response. And so I thought about that. So if you know that you ain't there to destroy him, what could your words do to transform him?
Okay.
Because she ultimately destroyed him. But her words and her presence in his life allowed him to be totally open to her, to give her all his secrets to his house.
Could you say that?
No, I can't. So we're going to end the dinner and dialogue, and I just appreciate everyone that watched. I am going to go back and see who shared and like the video, so I can put your name in a cup or hat or something and get it drawn. Drawing, so I can tell who won the gift certificate to Thick Chica, $50. I'm paying that seed into that business. Miranda and Monique has. So it's $25 for each individual that's in that business. I appreciate each one of these awesome ladies that was here with me today. I appreciate and love y'all so much. This is just one of the beginning. Because I think today was really good. Very everybody shared their stories and who they are. This is not planned. They did not know the questions I was going to ask before I asked them. So it wasn't that they could practice the answers. So the answers you got were true answers from them. It's all about being authentically you. And this is where they are in this moment of their lives. And I appreciate and love each and every one of them. We had our brunch catered by Grace Creation, CEO Grace Tucker. Everything was phenomenal. This is my gift to the girls, ladies on today. It was good. Again, each one of these ladies have phenomenal businesses that they're doing. If you need a house, Aretha is your girl. If you need educational tutoring information, there's Brittany and Stephanie, Renee. Miranda got 500 business, but the one I know the most is Thick Chica, and they're selling clothing, apparel, and paparazzi. Those two I know, but ain't no telling with Miranda these days. And she's my co-host for Dinner and Dialogue podcast. Monique, yes you do, Monique. You work for a school. You do a lot of stuff. What all do you do? I know you're a mentor. I know you are a speaker. Motivational speaker. So you need anybody for events. I'm just gonna say that like she's phenomenal with the MCing. She do Christian Academy.
I teach, I'm an instructor.
For
Christian college instructor for Life Christian University.
And she's live every Tuesday or Wednesday.
Every Wednesday from 5 to 6, we do life lessons live with Bishop Gerald Patterson and the crew, where we talk about everything under the sun from A to Z. Currently, we're talking about influence and where does it come from. Why are you making the decisions that you are making?
See, she has a lot on her plate. And for me, you know, I work for Southern Christian Service and I licensed therapeutic foster homes. And I'm a certified life coach and a licensed social worker. And I own Jules Mentoring LLC, where it is a self-development agency where I helped you realize your purpose and help you live life purposely by changing your perspective of your current situations. So you have to be willing to do the work.
Yes,
I will not do the work for you. So if you need any of those things, you can contact me. My website and my Facebook page is up. On the back is Miss Jessica Starks, who is the chief of everything behind the scenes. Jessica is my right-hand lady. Everything that happens with Jules happens through Jessica.
Yes.
The podcast, the website, the backdrop, the stickers, the business cards, the brochures, everything is Jessica.
Oh, girl.
That's my sister.
Yes. Oh, I'm a bond member. I'm a part of
Yeah, and we are bond members, and so if you have a small business, you know, you can connect with bond. It's like $6 a month. That's a 4 for 4 tax.
Times two.
Yes, she did.
Well, you still have $2 left over. You can get you $1 fry and $1 nugget.
Okay, Jesus.
But Bond's membership is $6 a month. Who can't afford that? And it's free advertisements for your business. So
That's good.
So I'm a part of Buns, and I just love Jessica. Every time Jessica, I want to do this, she be like, okay, can you do me a flyer? Okay, so so Jessica starts.
Jessica.
Look her up. She does logos and all types of stuff.
She does
Anyway,
it all.
yeah, she does.
Anything
So
you
thank you,
need.
Jessica. I appreciate you, and you are just phenomenal in everything that you do. So we're gonna get Brittany to sing us out, and then Stephanie Monique is gonna pray, and then y'all have a blessed day. Me and my bestie finna get ready to hit the road for the
We going to a Grizzlies game.
Okay.
I invited Rhonda into that space. If not, I would have gone to the game with myself.
That's all right.
So I'm inviting people
That's
into space.
exciting.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So we had, and don't forget to check out Grace's new boutique. She's having an open house today from I think from 2 to 4 or 2 to 6, and she's on Cliff Glucken. Before you get to that Chevron station, I can't remember the exact address, but I'll put it on the post later. But she just opened up her boutique, and she is the one. If you want anything catered, she comes to your house. She'll do all the catering and fixing and whatever for you. So she does.
It was phenomenal.
She did great. It was so good.
So that's Grace
And
Tucker.
tasteful.
Yes.
It was seasoned.
Right.
Come on.
Yes.
Just right.
Okay, so we're gonna hear that Brittany is a phenomenal singer.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna let her sing a verse or two of a song to just encourage you today.
Yes.
And then Stephanie Monique is gonna take us out in prayer, and y'all have a blessed day, and we'll see y'all next time.
Hey, y'all. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you have to speak victory during the test. And no matter how you feel, speak a word, you will be healed. Speak over yourself. Encourage yourself in the Lord.
Yay!
Wonderful. Father, we thank you for this time that we have had to converse, to dialogue. Thank you for your presence. Your presence has been solidified by the words that we have shared today and by the love that we feel, by the joy that is in our hearts. Thank you for the gifts that surround this table. Father, sometimes we don't say it enough, but we are so grateful and we are so thankful that you have called us together in this season, that you have allowed us to come together, that you have allowed us to to have dialogue, God, that will change the way that a person thinks. And so we thank you for that. We thank you that we are encouraging ourselves on a day-to-day basis, and we're able to do that because of your word, because of your son Jesus, and because of the relationship that we have with him. We thank you, God, that we are able to be creative, and that we're able to grow, and that we will not stay the same, that we will be different, and we will cause environments to change. And we thank you, God, for you filling the desires of our hearts. We thank you that this will not be the last, that this will be the first of many. We speak exponential growth on this mentoring program and on these lives that are sitting around this table, Father. We thank you for that. We thank you for the love, the joy, and the peace that surpasses all understanding in every walk of life. Wherever we are, there is no problem too hard, and there is nothing too hard for you to solve. And we thank you, God, that you meet us where we are. In your son Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. And y'all be blessed. And that's the end of Dinner and Dialogue anniversary.
All right.
Bye.